I'm on the Valley Loop Trail. Gonna go see El Capitan. Unbelievable. Hey, I'm on my way to Yosemite. I have been up since 2 something. Set my alarm for 3 a.m. Woke up at about 2:20. Decided it wasn't worth going back to sleep, so had to take a little cat nap on the way up here. I'm pretty tired, actually. El Capitan is one of the last big, tall things in Yosemite that I have yet to stand upon. And I've kind of been putting this one off because although it is one of the most highly prized climbing destinations in the world, not a lot of people seem to hike it. I've seen some pictures and videos of what I believe is the summit, and to be honest, it really does not look that interesting. The trouble is, El Cap is, like a lot of features in Yosemite, kind of dome-shaped. And when you get to the summit, if you want to get down closer to the edge to see the valley, you end up down climbing a very steep slope. It looks like it is very cluttered with loose rock. It's just not a very safe place to be trying to hike. So it may be the case that I get up to the top and all I can see are some trees around me, and then I just turn around and walk back. And 20 miles is a pretty long hike just to do that. Worst case scenario, I get to hike around, probably see some cool creeks, and redline a little bit more of my Yosemite map. So, here we go. Should be coming up to Cascade Creek. There it is. Going to be crossing this later. Oh, and then there's Tamarack Creek. Not very dramatic from this angle, but I should be crossing those fairly soon. There it is. Well, it is a brisk, windy morning. Getting started at about 6:30. And you can see probably around me it's fairly smoky because of the burns down in the valley. But right now I'm headed up this big hill, get on top of the valley and head over to El Cap. There it is, El Cap. A lot of the first part of the trail looks pretty much just like this. You're kind of just walking along fairly exposed trail up to the top of this ridge, and then it actually gets flat for a while, and now I'm going downhill a bit. It's actually been a fairly chill trail. So about the last quarter mile, I've actually entered forest, which has been very nice. First waypoint, Wildcat Creek. Looks like I'm not gonna have too much difficulty crossing this one. Not gonna be an issue. But nice to know that I will have water on the way back if I need it. Wow. I wonder if this is windfall from the storm. Many trees down. At least these look like they got taken care of off the trail. So it might have been a while ago. I don't think this trail would be priority for wood cleanup. Feeling the elevation this morning, feeling the lack of sleep. I think I got about 4 hours. Whew. Temperature just dropped about 5 degrees. Ah, beauty. Well, this is really beautiful. Tamarack Creek is quite nice, but I don't know how to get across it. I can see the trail right behind me, but that crossing is completely submerged. Most of the hike so far has been like this. Once you get off the ridge and descend into the forest, you spend a lot of time in the trees. It's nice and shady, pretty, smells nice. Not a lot of views. Oh, cool. well, it is 9 o'clock. I just got to Cascade Creek. I'm gonna sit down here for a minute, enjoy the view, get some food, and then head on. All right, here we are. 4 miles. 2 hours pretty much on the nose, so I'm doing 2 miles an hour. Tamarack Flat is that way, but I'm a-going this way. El Capitan. 6 more miles. Oh, you know what? That was actually a tributary to Cascade Creek. And literally just like 2 minutes later, you're at the real deal. So that was Coyote Creek, where I stopped and it had some food. Cascade is now behind me. So this is the 4th creek crossing. The second one did not have a name, at least not that I saw on my map. So I'm on this cool old road right now. You can't really tell except in a couple places where the old asphalt kind of pops out. But on the map it shows it being about a half-mile segment. So I should be done with that fairly quickly. And then I will be on the El Capitan trail, the one I would have been on if I had started at Tamarack. All right, so this is what I'm doing now, is climbing. Pretty much as soon as you get on the El Capitan trail, you take a left. I'm at about 5,800 feet right now, and this is going to climb up to Ribbon Meadow, which looks to be sitting at about 7,600 feet. So, yeah, I've got nearly 2,000 feet to go in what looks like maybe 2 or 3 miles. So it's going to be uphill pretty much all the way to the meadow. Hopefully it'll chill out after that, and then I'll be up on top of El Cap at 7,500 feet. A lot of ups. So I just hit 6,400 feet and I'm greeted with this. I know the camera doesn't really do it justice. So apparently that is Boundary Hill. It's about the only thing on the map that looks that big. It's like 8,400 feet, so that's about right. But maybe not, who knows? It might just be another gigantic granite thing, which is pretty much what Yosemite is made of. All right, coming up on 6,600 feet. That over there, I believe, is the Devil's Dance. up on 7600, and not too long after that I should be at Ribbon Meadow. This hike is a slog. It's just a lot of up. You got a couple little breaks here and there, but they are few and far between. Looks like the trail is going to be a bit of a cruiser once I top this. So the good news is I'm past 7,600 feet, which means I'm now higher than the summit of El Cap. The bad news is going downhill. So I'm hoping that this will not be too much of a descent, because I'm getting pretty wiped. I'm about 90% sure I will not be doing any down climbing once I'm at the summit. I mean, maybe just to break the tree line if I think I can, but I just don't think I have a 1,200 foot scramble in me today. Luckily, we've got this sweet path to follow. Wow. Wow. An obstacle course. Am I hiking or training to be a Jedi? Just watched Star Wars 9 with the kids last night, so I kind of got it on the brain. On the trail anymore. Although it doesn't really seem to matter much because they're not clearing it out. Oh, here's a good place to break your ankle. I literally don't even know if I'm on the trail anymore. It's just a debris field. Holy cow. Jeez. So even the edge of the meadow is somewhat submerged. And these shoes have zero water protection. They're basically mesh vents sitting on top of cushy soles. Super comfortable. But I think I'm just gonna come back up here. This looks trailish, and get back on trail. It looks like there isn't as much of a debris field over here. So on my way back, I should try to remember to head up the meadow side, get past all those trees and just cut back into the trail. Save some time, probably be safer. All right, back on track. Or am I? Hey, I found the trail again. This place is wild. And there's the creek. Okay, cool. I think I have finally reached what should be the cruiser portion. Doesn't mean it's not going to be underwater, but that's the trail over there. So yeah, it looks like I'm going to be going under a bit. Oh yeah. This is interesting. Whoa! Alright, did that. What do you think? Over here? How pretty. It's a good spot to stop for a minute, do a map check. So this doesn't seem right, but according to the GPS, I'm not even at a creek yet. So I think the GPS is off a bit. I know basically I need to kind of go that way, so figure something out. So after the Meadow area, trail starts looking like this. Got a little bit of snow on the ground. Sorry if I sound all wiped out, but I'm wiped out. Climbing over all these trees and stuff. Yeah, it's been a little harder going than I thought it would, and starting off with low energy and not getting very much sleep last night. I am tired, and I am not even halfway done yet. Feet are starting to hurt, heels are hurting. I'm a little perturbed right now. This trail is just dive bombing. After all that work, 7,600 feet, and now we're just sliding downhill. I don't know, I just walk off trail. Pretty nice, but the trail is up the creek. You can really see it. I mean, look, all the way back here. It's this far from the creek, so you can do it. Can't really see it. And this trail is just going, and this trail is just going down, down, down. You can just find out for sure. There's a way to call that work, and now I'll just go downhill. I've gone up there, I can't up this. But you've got to find out this trail. You find it by the creek, which you can see down trees. You breathe air. Yeah, but to be honest, I'm probably just tired right now, but you know, in Yosemite, you don't work this hard to not have an amazing view. You should be seeing amazing views pretty much corner by corner up here. So the markings have turned to yellow. I don't know if that means something. They've been red for quite a while. So it is looking awfully barren up there. I'm seeing the crest of a hill, some trees, and then what looks to be a big empty piece of granite. I'm thinking that is the top of El Capitan. Oh, wait, that's French. Oh yeah, that's steep, all right. Okay, well I'm less agitated by the "you're gonna die" comments now, because yeah, it looks like they pretty much were true. Okay, this is pretty impressive. Oh, those slabs. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. is it. The last of the big bucket list items. Stand on top of El Cap. Tag. So, this is the top of El Capitan. I'm actually below the summit now. You can see the curvature is pretty extreme. I've seen all of this from the top of various points and peaks. Looked down it from Half Dome and Clouds Rest over there. It's tempting because on a dome it always looks like you're just not very far from the edge. You could just go right up to it, but then you get there and there's just more. Pretty awesome lunch view. There's Calf Point, and there's Sentinel Dome, and there's 4 Mile Trail going up along the edge there. That of course is Half Dome, and I think from here, I can't quite reach, but that's Clouds Rest. And this is El Capitan. All right, so I'm gonna do this now before I get back to the car, get all comfortable and start remembering only the good parts of this hike and how amazing it was. Right now, I'm gonna have to say, honestly, this is the worst trail I've ever been on in Yosemite. Now, a big part of that was all the tree fall back there. There's just huge trees down everywhere. And you either gotta go over them or under them. They've obliterated the trail in many places. So it's just a huge slowdown. Boo down trees. Yay, awesome tree at 7,600 feet. For a Yosemite trail, this honestly is just pretty dull. You get some really good views. It's really cool to see El Cap from the side, and of course it's pretty cool being on top of it. And you do get some good views of the valley, but nothing as good as Clouds Rest, or Half Dome, or Taft Point, or Dewey Point, or Glacier, or Crocker, or any number of great areas in Yosemite where you can see the valley, see a lot of prominent features, and you know, just dig the whole Yosemite thing. Again, I want to be clear, I'm rating this trail on a Yosemite standard and not just on a general beauty standard, because really you kind of have to grade on a curve when you're in Yosemite. I think if you want to get on top of El Cap, that's a noble goal. I think you should do it. But I would just suck it up and take Yosemite Falls. It's shorter, it's way more dramatic, prettier as far as the big views. I mean, you get to see the valley, you get to see Camp 4, all of the sections of Yosemite Falls that you miss from the bottom. Then if you get up to the top of Yosemite Falls and you want to take a little side trip, you got that cool little platform you can stand on, climb back up. There's Eagle Peak, and then there's El Cap. That's not bad for one hike. I'm not sure how much better it would be from Tamarack Flat, but probably better than what I did today. Plus the round trip I think is 17 miles instead of 20, so if nothing else, you're cutting off, you know, at least an hour of hiking. This was probably the worst of all the hikes to choose, but you know, I wanted a new line on the map, so that was part of my goal, and I got that. So what I would just say is, if you are just kind of looking to see Yosemite, if you just want to get the Yosemite experience, this is not the trail to do it on, because there just isn't that much Yosemite experience. Hey, you know what? It's still Yosemite. Worst day in Yosemite is better than the best days in a lot of places. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a like. Make sure you're a subscriber to Backcountry Pilgrim if you're into hiking, camping, backpacking, and the gear that goes with it. Until next time, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching.